Hi there, I'm doing great. Thank you for the introduction. I'm really excited for this match actually. The odds are saying that South Korea is probably going to win this, but there's something about Indonesia this year that is a bit more different. They have a very strong core of team. So looking at the performance on statistics from quarterfinals, one of the top performers is Rafco, they're number two. And then yeah, it's also within kind of the top 15 performing players from last weekend as well. So they have a very strong core players, but of course they're facing against the juggernaut that is South Korea. They have some of the best players in 7K. You got Dress Up, Kao Kai, YZ1155, and Han Jae-hoon. So it is going to be a hard matchup for Indonesia, considering that South Korea has not dropped a singular point. So already the that's already a tough part. Just getting a point against South Korea.
It's going to be really difficult, I agree. But Indonesia has reached this point for a reason. I mean, it's no surprise that they were able to come here, especially after their performance against Japan, in which they had so many times where Japan could have made a run and all that, yet Indonesia won very well in that very last pick, which I believe was EX3. So I really do think Indonesia has what it takes to put up a fight here. And I think that's what we all want to see, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. Especially in a blockbuster like of a match in the winners bracket here, you do not want to see a sweep. And I think the nice thing about these two teams is that they're so well rounded in both sides. I think Indonesia definitely have a very strong rise long node hybrid lineup as well. I think they definitely want to avoid the EXs against South Korea, considering South Korea is probably the best scaling team into the late game, and these EX picks here are basically late game picks, and you want to really avoid that if you're Indonesia. So you might want to ban maybe EX3 or EX2 if you're on the side of Indonesia, just depending if you're more comfortable on Rise or long node. South Korea, I think they just want to ban probably one of the easier picks. Actually, it's going to be South Korea banning EX3. Okay, interesting.
I actually don't. I mean, I'm not sure why EX3 would be the ban. I'm gonna. Oh, sorry, protect. Sorry, I'm not sure if South Korea.
Oh, protect.
EX3
Sorry.
protect. Okay, look. Okay,
Okay,
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But EX3
Okay.
makes sense. Okay, now
Yeah.
that this was their protect, it actually makes a lot of sense. Indonesia has to protect something like. I would say LN2 or LN1. Because
Yeah.
I feel like Indonesia might be able to contest in picks like that. It shouldn't be an EX pick. Wait a minute. Wait. Where's Indonesia's protect?
I don't know, but I looks like the order has been mixed up a bit here, but it's going to be Rise 6 ban, to be honest. It doesn't really matter the order
Okay,
that they go
yeah,
to ban
okay.
or protect. And then 2
yeah.
protect makes sense. You got also Onta Pegasi and Rafco. Those two are really proficient in LN, so that's going to be a good duel to pick in LN2. Rise 6 ban makes sense, to be honest. I think, in my opinion, it's probably is the toughest EX Rise picks. It's even harder than EX1, in my opinion. And they're going to be banning. South Korea is going to be banning LN4 as well. So yeah, I think their main goal here is to stay away from any of the long nodes, and especially LN4 being the inverse LN, so it kind of mirrors LN2 in a way as well. Kind of mirrors, not really too much, but makes sense with the ban. And South Korea is going to be picking Heliosphere as their first pick.
Yeah, this is a good pick. Very technical. And I think okay. Well, first of all, the slots are swapped. Okay, it has to be the other way around. And second, I like this pick because I have a feeling Indonesia's not gonna have the greatest of times when it comes to dropping the least amount of 200s. I think South Korea has an advantage in both that and ratio. So South Korea definitely has an edge on this.
Yeah, that's for sure. But I think it's also pretty hard to count out Indonesia. So I'm gonna guess, yeah, it's going to be coming in for Indonesia. Considering they're probably kind of the main Rise player for Indonesia, but right now we're still seeing Onta Pegasi staying in. quite surprised actually. I thought on top because he would be the Allen anchor for this team.
If you look at the chat, this looks like it's a sight read.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
that. I don't know what to feel about that. And this is really interesting.
Yeah,
However, I am gonna assume Ontapikasi is in probably because they want to like. My guess is actually I don't know why. Maybe the lack of 200s, but like yeah is the more Rice player oriented here. So I don't know what's the
Ooh,
what's the
hold on.
decision here.
No, it's because yeah, it's not even in the server right now. I think they're just not here as far as I can see in the chat logs right now. So that's probably the reason why.
Yeah,
Um,
is I actually did check. I checked on chat for OSU as well.
so yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably
isn't
why.
online.
But I think in terms of the picks in general, oh, hold on time with the first miss, the transition straight into the technical patterning right there.
That's gonna be massive. The problem here, I would say, is like okay. The problem with this chart is it's very very technical, like what I said before, and it has so many of those abrasive patterns. I mean, even Ravko is having like some sort of problems. I mean, okay, sure, 99 and 98 are really good, but if you're up against like a South Korea team, you have to play this essentially perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, just look at both those players right now. They're still on the pace to get 990k. Oh, hold on. Dress up with the first drop. It's traded by Ontapikasi, but there are some signs of weaknesses potentially. Dress up with the first person to drop the full combo, but it was traded afterwards. Ravko still kind of angry with the full combo. It's just the accuracy advantage, just far beyond the South Korea right now.
Well, that's the problem. Even though Ravko and Kalakai both have like one full combo each to South Korea, it's just the accuracy average. I mean, Dresser, despite that one miss, is pretty much ahead of Ravko in terms of accuracy. So that means, in terms of like a physicality Rice-wise, South Korea will really have the advantage. I like this as a first pick because it really solidifies the dominance they have on these kinds of charts.
Yeah, I mean, South Korea really showing why they are the favorites in this tournament. I mean, just the two players here, Kaokai and Dresser, I think they're the number 1 and number 2 player of the 7K leaderboard, if I remember correctly. So these two players can definitely play some of the hardest pick that is out there in this pool. It reminds me of like when Jack Hansen Wonder played in that one Mania World Cup back then. It's kind of the same vibe here, where just the number 1 and number 2 global players is here to absolutely dominate everyone.
Yeah, that one was very. This is a very dominant win, and traumatize everyone is indeed the correct word for that. Like, this is actually a pretty good performance from Indonesia. I mean, the fact that they have one full combo alone should show how strong this team can be. But again, if you're up against a team that will essentially force you to play perfect just for you to have a chance at winning, this is gonna be a really tough time. I mean, 44,000 point lead should tell you a lot. The Kalkai
Yeah.
with the 990k, I mean, Ravko with a full combo as well. That's very impressive. I mean, the mere fact that we see 2 full combos here should be, it's something to be praised, you know. And Ontapikasi's score is also really good. 98.8 on this, it requires you to be proficient in technicality because of the OD being 7.8. It requires you to also be really consistent. And really, these players performed very well.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's unfortunate to not see Yeah coming. I think if Yeah does come in, they actually have a good chance because Yeah is really proficient in this. Actually, a double full combo on Yeah with Yeah and Ravko might have done it actually because considering Ravko did outscore Dressworth by 5,000 points. That's actually quite a sizable 1v1 lead that they could have. But you know, that's all hypothesizing. That's not really the case now. And Indonesia really just have to go with what they have best, and that is going to be the long notes. And it's going to be long note 1. I like this as well, kind of just avoiding the protects for now. They just want to go through, they want to use all the Ellen picks first, because they might get banned later down the line if it's not picked in the first few picks here. So yeah, this is a great call for Indonesia.
be honest, I think when it comes to picks, Indonesia has to pick like this. And if they want to make sure that they have the LNs, they gotta pick like LN3 or something. Because I don't see South Korea banning EX2 at the very least. Because I think they probably benefit with the harder picks in general. So I'd say Indonesia has to go with this and LN3. But okay, yeah, just don't waste LN2, you know?
Yeah, if you pick LN2 now, that would be the other LN will be banned straight away after that. So LN1, LN3, and LN2 is probably going to be the order here. But this is actually going to be kind of Onto Bigassi's much more comfort zone right here. It's what they've been known for throughout kind of their tenured history within the 7K scene. It's the LN ratio player and also a really good like physicality LN player as well. So they can definitely duke it out against the South Korean player. So this might not be as clear cut. We might be seeing Indonesia getting a point here against Indonesia, but of course you're going to see double substitution for South Korea. So YZ and Han Jae-hoon coming in, also really proficient in LN accuracy as well.
It makes a lot of sense that we have these swaps from South Korea. YZ, yeah, sure. I know YZ can also be consistent in Rice, but I think the problem is like accuracy, so Kalkai is there instead. And as for Han Jae-hoon, he's definitely a better option than Dressurf here, because Dressurf may be extremely good in the accuracy side. I think LN consistency is probably something that Han Jae-hoon has over him. So South Korea making really good decisions here in terms of their swaps. As for Indonesia, I'm not surprised that they're going to be having Rafko and Onta Bikasi all the way here. So
yeah, that's for sure.
It's not looking the best right now, but hey, still two full combos from each side. So it's not necessarily a bad situation to be in, because this just means that South Korea is giving some sort of room of opportunity. But that is not what I'm talking about. That is not the room of opportunity at all.
Yeah, Rafko was first to drop. Also because he's still holding on to a really decent accuracy here, trying to match against YZ. Is this Han Jae-hoon right now, kind of just strolling away with a 99.4 on this pick. Rafko slightly struggling right now. They are trying their best, but the accuracy drop is just too much right now. The staggered releases, you can see, these sort of like rolly LN patterning, and on top you can see with another miss as well. So that's 2 full combo to none for Indonesia, and that score lead is going to balloon up to nearly 20,000 points. This is quite tough already for Indonesia to try and get that point back.
This is crazy. I mean, an 18,000 point lead just from 2 mistakes. This is what I was saying before, that Korea really forces you to play perfectly, or else you will really be punished for those mistakes. Like if this was any other team, like those 2 mistakes could be traded back. But there's this thing about this South Korea team and just their consistency this tournament. I mean, you did mention they haven't lost a single point yet to any other team. Like any team at all.
Nope, they have not lost a single point. And what South Korea has that's way better than everyone else, it's just that they have such a strong 2-player roster right here. I think for many other top-seeded teams, we're getting to a point where one player can still duke it out against one of the South Korean player, but it's just the second player. It's really struggling against the other player of South Korea. We can see also we can see right here, they're really trying to match that act against YZ, but the second player is just unmatched on the side of South Korea. So yeah, this is already quite a decisive lead for South Korea. We're heading to the end of the map. Onto Bigassy continue to big cup misses, and while South Korea potentially getting a double full combo on LN1 right here, kind of showing they're not to be messed with. Continuing their streak of, if I do my math correctly, that is going to be their 18th points in a row. So
18 points,
yeah,
huh?
18 points, yeah.
Are you 18?
Yeah, round 16 and round 32 is 5, and then quarterfinal is 6, and then another 2 years, that 18 points in a row.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. I had to make sure the calculation was right.
Yeah,
yeah. You never know. But yeah, I mean, it's just really crazy because like at how effortless South Korea makes this look.
Yeah, it's kind of just their biggest strength. they have so many games that are like native to South Korea. So they have been kind of grown up with kind of 7K game mode a lot more. They're more attuned to 7K game modes compared to the rest of the nations. It's kind of similar to like Taiko in Japan. This is basically the equivalent of that.
Alright. So, South Korea now has a pick. I think they're gonna go with... I'm not sure. Maybe Rice 1? I don't think EX1 is the right pick to go.
I think they can just pick anything on the board. Maybe something a bit more difficult, actually. So, maybe... I think actually EX1 might be the pick here. I do like EX1 as a pick. Or, okay.
Nah,
Rice
don't. I don't
Okay.
think it's the right time for EX1. You're only one breakpoint ahead. And yeah, sure, maybe it's a good chance to take a third point. But let's say you start running out of picks. I don't think that's a position you'd want to be in. I mean, sure, South Korea has like a lot of free reign on a lot of the skill sets. I just don't think this is the right time to pick EX1. It has to be like the pick after this.
Okay, fair enough. I want to add an extra stats as well. So I said how they have 18 points in a row, right? Well, I want to include from last year as well because they did clean sweep in the grand finals. So that's and they had another point before that. So actually they are on 8 plus 16. So that's 18. So that's 26 points in a row that South Korea is on right now. They are absolutely unstoppable as of right now. And
Yeah.
they're just so cracked.
Okay,
And
wait. How many points
Yeah.
in a row was it?
26.
Okay, so I checked the finals match because the last time they lost a match was South Korea versus China in 2025. So you said 26, and South
That's
Korea
already
won
counted.
the final two picks of that. So this would be their 28th point in a row.
Yeah, quite good at that. They're quite good as a nation.
Yeah, 28 point in a row since 2025. Okay.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
and I think that out of all of the Rice picks, this is the most quote-unquote winnable for Indonesia, or Rice 4. Because I think if Rice 4 were to be a consistency battle, and let's say South Korea misses once or twice, there could be a door of opportunity, but Indonesia's gotta keep that consistency soon.
Yeah, I think for Rice 3, Rice 4, they're like the least skill cap. So actually, Astro coming in for Ontavagasi, I think that's a pretty good call as well. Maybe they're a bit more Rice oriented than Ontavagasi as well. And actually, for these sorts of picks, there's quite a miss here. Actually, can do a lot for Indonesia, just because the accuracy gap won't be as big compared to previous picks. Jessup coming in with a 99.92 right now. And YZ 99.8, actually being matched by Ravco, but Astra picking up 2 misses while I was continuing to say. They're
Might be
struggling
a bit
quite a bit. Yeah?
Yeah, you might be a bit surprised that Kalkai isn't here, but I think they're putting in YZ for the sake of consistency, which is fair. YZ is extremely consistent in 7 key, so I'm not surprised to see that.
Yeah, I don't mind any of the free players of YZ, Jessup, and Kalkai coming in for these sorts of picks. Jessup does pick up a miss, so actually, there might be some sort of potential comeback chances here, but Astra continues to pick up more misses throughout this this second half, where the pattern just continues to ramp up even more and more. We're heading into a break. Is there going to be any more misses from any of the players? It's going to be Astra picking up a miss, heading straight to the break.
Oh, this is the worst time to pick up a miss, because
Yeah.
the break section is like the lowest chance of players dropping. Yeah,
It's kind of tough because if does come in right here, it's actually going to be really close because Jessup does miss, and Rav's core accuracy is really near to that of YZ as well. So actually, if they're on like a double full combo run, Indonesia could actually take this, assuming that can match Rav's core accuracy as well. But unfortunately, we can't really say too much. And this point I think, is going to go over to South Korea. Another miss from Asher is going to seal this deal. Jessup, despite a miss, is going to get a 99.79%. What are you doing? Like, what?
either way, I just want to say Indonesia shouldn't like think of, oh, if I wish we had, no, this is not the right time to think that. Like, they're in a situation where they're down 3-0. With or without, yeah, they're down 3-0. They have to focus on their strategy. They have to really clean something up. Because I understand the circumstance of having like lacking one player. I mean, I've been in those kinds of situations before, but being in a match like this, you can't really think that. You do not have time to think that. So Indonesia's really got to clean up their strategy as soon as possible. I think it's about they gotta pick LN3. Like I know LN2 is there, but
Yeah,
if you
I
pick
agree.
if you pick LN2, you just give South Korea the chance to ban LN3, and you don't know if LN3 is gonna work.
They could throw a complete curveball and go with EX2 as well. But yeah, that's I say that as a curveball reason. Actually, just I'm looking at like previous scores compared to like the match against Philippines and China. Actually, I think South Korea team score is actually behind Philippines with this one. So yeah, for once they're actually being outscored by other nations as well. They're not going to be getting top score on Rise Street this weekend right here. And here we go, LN3 being picked makes sense, makes absolute sense right here. It's going to be the LN density pick. For once, the Nana Hero pick, Nana Hero has made a comeback to the pool.
I like this pick just because I think Indonesia's gonna go towards the Olympics anyway. And if you pick LN2, you're basically just gonna give, like what I keep on saying before, you're just giving them a chance to ban the LN3 pick, and you would never know if you'd have done well on that or not.
Yeah, that's for sure. So in terms of the pick strategy, I think they're doing their most optimal strategy right now, which is great to see as well. And we're going to be seeing Kai staying. Oh, sorry, coming in for Dresser, YZ staying. So I think we're getting to a point where maybe we want to put South Korea's playing the big guns in here. Maybe Han Jae-hoon. I'm slightly struggling on this pick compared to the other players, but I'm not sure to be honest. Han Jae-hoon also can play pretty late game as well. I mean, you can put any two of the four players in for South Korea at this stage right now, and it would still make sense at the end of the day. And we're going to be seeing Jessup and Kai coming in. So the second time we're seeing these combinations. On the other hand, Onta Bekasi is going to be subbing in for Asriel as expected on this sort of LN picks.
Alright, so this is what I'm really curious to see. Can Indonesia bounce back from that performance? And I believe, I forgot which LN they played before. Was it LN? Was it LN like the Indonesia's first pick? I mean, I forgot what their first pick was.
Was it?
Okay, okay. So I wonder if they can bounce back from LN1 because I think they can do a lot better than what they showed there, and I am confident that Indonesia will be able to bounce back from that. Well, the problem is though, this chart has a lot of like density patterns, which I think the advantage South Korea has can be their Rise ability. If you look at the lineup they have here, it's Dresser and Kai. Totally different from what they had in LN1, which was YZ and Han Jae-hoon. So the strategy here is try to use the Rise ability to counter the patterns that will be Rise oriented, that even if this is an LN chart rather. So I like the strategy from South Korea.
Also saying that these two Rise players are making absolute disservice to their LN abilities as well. These two are also really good at long node and hybrid patterns, so they're just really that good. And as you said, I do agree as well. With this map being 3 minutes, just continuous LN density patterning, the stamina will make a very big entrance once you get to like the last quarter of the map. A bit of a break here. Actually, in terms of accuracy, Rafko Onta Bekasi is still trying the best right now. Still quite close to South Korea, but it's just the misses. I think that is Onta's Bekasi third break so far. Rafko's first break as well. So South Korea definitely have a lot of combo breaks on their side right now, and they're still on the double full combo, and their accuracy is still over. Oh, hold on, a miss from Kai.
This isn't really gonna affect it much though, because this is 3 minutes long and it is a 16,000 point lead. So even though Kalkai missed here, and I would usually say that this is the worst place to find a miss. I mean, it's shown here, like the amount that was deducted was a lot. The problem is just the fact that their accuracy is so strong, and Indonesia just cannot capitalize on those mistakes. That's really the problem Indonesia's been having this entire match, and Rafko dropping there, I think that's kind of seals the deal.
Yeah, the physicality now is going to make an entrance here. On top, you can see Rafko slightly maybe struggling due to the stamina now. We are already like 2 minutes in on like really dense 185 BPM LN patterning right here. On the other hand though, Jessup Kaukai not even flinching. 99.65, only one clean miss so far. We're heading to the end of the map. Still, double 99% from the start of Indonesia. Still a very strong team performance right here. Nothing to scoff at. One of the better performance of this weekend as well. It's just unfortunate that they're facing against South Korea. You need to be on your absolute A+ game.
It's just terrifying that this is like one of the bigger, like, this is terrifying, you know. Like, this is, you said this is one of the better performances, and it's still 40,000 points behind South Korea. Like, that's how crazy this team is. I mean, Indonesia's performance here, I mean, they performed really well. I wouldn't be surprised if this beats out like most teams. But yeah, South Korea just really showing why they're #1 seed. I mean, Dresser with a very clean full combo, and Kalkai also having 0 bad judgments other than that one miss. This consistency is really difficult to beat. Like, they're playing at their A game right now.
Yeah, it's very scary to think that this is not even their ceiling. I think South Korea's strongest ability is just when you get to like grand finals pool, because their skill cap is just so high that they can play absolutely anything. So sure, they're playing at their A game, but we're still not seeing them at their absolute optimal performance in the map pool. So yeah, it's going to be tough. It's always tough when you're in South Korea. You're facing against South Korea, but history does show that Titans can bleed, and in 2023, if I remember correctly, South Korea did lose to Philippines. So yeah, they can lose. It's just that you have to be in your absolute A game, and we're going to be seeing a couple of bans right here. Rise 2 is going to be banned from the South of Indonesia, as expected. A follow-up after seeing South Korea's performance on Rise 3. Rise 2 ban makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I don't like this ban though. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, okay.
I don't like this ban because EX1 is right there. And South Korea, I think, if they have an advantage on all of the other Rise picks just like that, then what makes you think EX1 is going to be any different? In fact, I think their advantage on EX1 is going to be even more terrifying.
Yeah, that's fair. But at the same time, they can't really do too much. Banning EX1, South Korea is going to be going with Rise 2. Either way, still, at least it's not an LN, or it's not, they're banning hybrids or anything. South Korea is probably going to be looking at maybe banning hybrid 1 or hybrid 2. Probably have more of hybrid 1.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Straightforward. More straightforward. Yeah, more straightforward, hybrid, more LN orientated as well. So very similar to maybe the likes of LN 3. But they're going to be fighting Rise 1. Okay, sure.
No,
you know,
that's good. That's a good ban. I would have thought they would, you know, I was gonna say, I think Rise 4 would have made a lot of sense. Because they don't want to have the risk of like missing, just losing it. So
I have a feeling. Sorry, I think they actually might just pick Rise 4. Like, I genuinely think they might just go ahead and pick Rise 4. I think South Korea definitely sometimes want to kind of go out with their kind of show how good their accuracy is, and I think for Rise 4, for this weekend, it's much more dense, but it's not as angry, so it's actually much more comfortable. Sure, that does mean that Indonesia can also play, but I think South Korea does tend to kind of go with Rise 4 as kind of a flex pick. But of course, you know, if you want to be rational, AX1 is probably the way to go.
No way! No, I don't know. This is not a safe pick. This is not a safe pick. This is terrifying. I don't know what to feel
Rise
about
4. I knew it. I knew it as soon as they banned Rise 1. Like, they're going to be picking Rise 4. I said just now they're going to be picking Rise 4. no matter what everyone says, they're just gonna go with the flow.
I don't know. I'm scared of this pick because
I am scared too. I'm scared
so
too.
I'm looking here. It seems like Dressurf isn't playing this, and I think that's the right call. Because if you look at the previous matches, Dressurf actually missed in a very early core jack pick, the one in round 32. Because I have a feeling they want to keep the consistency. I think the lineup should be, it's gotta be YZ and Kawakai, yeah. Because yeah, again, like what they said before, Dressurf had two misses on Vice, which was the round of 32 core jack pick. So this makes a lot of sense. I think it's the right call to put in YZ and Kawakai here.
Yeah, and Indonesia, this is probably your best chance of getting a point against Indonesia. The goal here is just don't miss.
You mean the point
Don't
against South
miss
Korea? You mean the point against South Korea?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Ending kind of that long, like 29, 30 points. I can't even count this point streak around
like,
South Korea.
I think it was like 30 to 31 points around there.
Something like
that.
But
well,
yeah.
Well,
oh
it's
no.
So that's a miss from Onto Bikasi. It's very early though, and Rafko is matching very well against both Kalka and YZ. But that's gonna be the problem. You will need both players to match that. The thing about core jack charts though is if you make one mistake, you see the difference there. That's already how massive of a drop your lead would be.
Yes, but the question is, are they going to even miss at all? That's the $1 million questions right now. Rafko tried their best right now. Really trying to match Kaokai's accuracy. I think Kaokai did drop. Kaokai actually dropped a 200.
Kaokai dropped
so
200, yes. So
they should be subbed out.
Around there. It's around there, but that's not gonna be enough. Onto Bikasi has been increasing the accuracy, but we'll need to have a miss from South Korea here, which I don't see that happening anytime soon. Because if you look at their unstable rates, it's really, really close. And Onto Bikasi, I think, dropped a 100 or a 50 there. That's getting scary.
They're still on a good combo right now. Still, this is kind of the closest we've seen so far. There's still quite some chance. You can't really discount until it's over. These sort of core jack picks, as easy as accuracy it is, you can just trip up on some of these denser courts. But so far, no one's tripping. Now the score is kind of going up to 10,000 points. Rafko still trying their best to match one of the South Korea players. And now all they hope for is someone for South Korea to miss.
Oh, I'm scared. I'm really scared.
I'm scared too.
I mean, this is Indonesia's best chance to take a point, and they have the accuracy. They have. I mean, the problem is though, South Korea just refuses to find the drop here. Because like if this was any other team, Indonesia would be in a good position to win the point. But if you're up against South Korea, once again, a team that forces you to play perfect in every pick, this is the result. Even with a very strong performance like that, it's still a 22,000 point win for South Korea. Like, that's crazy. I don't even know. I don't have any words to say here.
What is that? What is that? Team score of South Korea. They're 5,000 points away from the maximum potential score. That's just not right. I mean, Indonesia 985, 986. I think that's basically the second or third best team score of this weekend already, so far. And yet again, they're facing the number one team right here. 996, 997. I think YZ and Kakai just like, man, I'm so bad. I'm getting only what. Yeah, I didn't SS this. V1 double S this.
Wait.
And they're going to go hybrid too! Okay, you know what? Like, sure, Ellen too. Okay, hold on. Let me say something. This is, in terms of vibes pick, this is the most vibes. Like, this, I would, like, if you wanna go with, like, a bag, right? This is such a good song. And I think Indonesia, they're really respecting kind of this semifinals pool. This hybrid 2 pick is so good in terms of the song quality wise, and I think they just want to enjoy this as well. Sure, LN2 probably is the best pick for Indonesia, but I think for vibe, just for the sake of vibes, this is probably the best pick for Indonesia. You know, I think it's hard to say this, but they kind of came in here not really expecting to win, in a way. And now because it's 5-0, of course, it's not really the mentality you want to take moving on. But come on, like, it's a hybrid 2 pick. This song is so good is the AR Force OSU original pick featuring Nayuta.
I mean, I can see it working, but this is a very risky move.
Oh yeah, it sure is risky. This is like, if even within the hybrids, they have to go with hybrid 1 as the kind of more LN orientated pick. This is the more Rise based pick as well. So like, in terms of the, even within hybrids, this might be considered a mispick.
I don't know. I mean, okay, at least they're not picking a Rice. I mean, to be fair, I think that previous Rice was the only one left.
Yeah.
I think this is a good
run.
pick in general, though. It could be
Okay.
good, but LN2 was there, so I don't know. I feel like they could have chosen that. But that's done already.
It's okay. It's okay.
That's
Here we
already,
go.
and now they're just gonna deal with it.
Indonesia with the lead. Hold on.
No, but South Korea immediately gets it back because of 200s onto the Kasi dropping F. Actually, releasing way too early, and that is a bad sign of things to come. Though, we've seen some bleeding happen in South Korea's side, so I wouldn't say it's over just yet.
Yeah, and we got Ravko as well, who's kind of been the anchor within the Indonesian team when it comes to these sort of Rise hybrid picks. They've been super consistent, so they can definitely duke it out against one of the South Korea players. But yeah, I mean, this is already a tough start for Indonesia with a miss and also a huge accuracy discrepancy between these two teams as well. But we saw how actually South Korea does have a couple of kind of uncharacteristic misses. Kind of looking aggressive. They have picked up a couple of misses in the Rice pick, so it's not really that one-sided, considering that there's some miss potential. As soon as I said that,
there we go.
Hold on.
But however, South Korea has the accuracy advantage despite the full team reset. It's not over yet. South Indonesia needs to take advantage. This is what I'm saying. Even though there's a full team miss, Indonesia's missing on a relatively less dense section. And that's not the recipe to winning against a team like South Korea. You have to play those easier parts perfectly and hope that South Korea drops on those harder parts. And now the lead was just about what it was before. But this could be potentially the closest pick South Korea has had in quite a while. Okay,
yeah, but
wow.
hold on. We're only halfway through. There's still potential chances of a complete team collapse. That team collapse brought back around 10,000 points worth of deficit, so we need another kind of team collapse of wisely aggressive right here. Manifesting it right now on the side of Indonesia.
But it's not over yet.
Oh, but
no,
sorry.
I am so sorry for that.
Oh,
that's a really painful miss. Not to mention the accuracy drop as well was pretty substantial. And these patterns are just gonna keep on coming. Well, that's a trade, and trades will not benefit Indonesia at any means. These patterns are relentless, especially on high pressure, high nerve situations. So I would say that this is a good position for Indonesia to be in.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, but we saw actually South Korea does have a couple of struggles as well. This is the second double miss from South Korea already, so showing how hard this pick is. And actually, Rapco might be running away with the MVP. Maybe we have to see.
No, I don't think so. The accuracy is, yeah, it's still wise. Yeah, even though Indonesia had lesser misses, like even though Rapco had lesser misses, I don't think it would have been enough. But looking at both, yeah, the accuracy was way too different. Was way too big. I mean, the miscount was very close, but if you look at the discrepancy between the ratio and their 200 count, it's a big difference. And just from that, South Korea is gonna take the pick, still undefeated in terms of points. That's crazy. Like they have never lost a point since finals. Yeah, finals 2025. And they're going to the finals, still haven't losing a point. That's just crazy.
Yep, they have just done they have gone 365 days basically undefeated. You can basically say something like that. They kind of returned to the point that the match where they last lost a point, which is in finals, to see sure they last lost a point. And now they're going to be facing against Philippines, who I think they are going to be giving a run for their money.